Yo, what's up? Everybody who's here to watch me fail, everybody here who's trying to root for me. These are my first steps as Bison in Street Fighter 6.
Practice. Here comes a new challenger. Interest. Round one. Fight. Think again.
Too bad.
Round two. Fight. No mistake. Psycho pressure.
Obviously, this goes without saying, but throughout these matches, all I'm trying to do is work on my inputs, making sure that they're crisp and clean, and also the combos. I practice a lot of combos throughout these videos. Hopefully you can see them and you see the improvement. But yeah, you know, I'm just learning the matchups, especially now that the patch has gone through and most of the good stuff, well, I wouldn't say good stuff, but the stuff that makes Bison a little bit more tricky isn't as good. For instance, again, the Stomp was really oppressive, but not only the EX version was quite as good. It's the only thing that gives quality for what you're trying to do, depending on how you use it. That's what I'm trying to get at here. This Cammy is actually beating my ass, or kicking my keister rather, and you know, it's all about trying to learn how to beat that. Excuse my shoddy craftsmanship. This is my first time using the tool. This is probably going to be a very long video also, because this is going to be a kind of a compiling of some of the beginning stuff that I found that maybe is insightful. Again, your journey of 1,000 steps begins with the first couple of steps, right? And hopefully you don't step on a nail as you are embarking on your journey. Okay, so throughout these matches that I'm going to show you guys, or just display out for the world to see, I miss a lot of crouching moves, like crouching media punch, crouching media kick. My neutral in approach suffers, so you know, if you see or if you know of better neutral skip tools or better neutral options, I've already in my later games I've tried shimmying. You know, I don't know if I have the videos where I drive rush a lot, but there are obviously improvements in the game that I have employed, but it's not perfect. Like, again, trying to figure out when to do these buttons, when I feel like Ken can just whiff and hit the air in front of you, and then all of a sudden you're in a combo that takes maybe roughly 45%. Is kind of frustrating to say the least. Or if, like, this is a little bit of a rant. I guess I feel like in Street Fighter 6, robbery is just like a thing. You know, it's like common practice. Everybody can rob you, regardless of how far ahead you are, which is cool. I guess you got comeback potential, but like for characters that don't have effective get off tools like invincible wake ups and stuff like that, like I find it very challenging to figure out where does the alleviation of someone else's offense come from, other than for me like randomly having to jab a button like light jab, and hopefully that they're not doing like something frame perfect, and I have to like again guess and hold that shit. You feel me? Like, you know. But yeah, like certain characters, again, I know they don't. I mean, I know certain characters they have it harder. I was gonna say Ed got nerfed recently too, but I feel like again his neutral tools are just way better. Like the flicker is just long range poke, which is really good. I don't know of a good method for Bison himself to counter it, other than maybe trying Psycho Crusher, right? But oh, this is like a buff idea I thought of for Bison as well. If they would just increase his Psycho Crusher on startup, like the startup time, to where it beats all projectiles on startup, that's a potential buff for him, because I feel like there have been many a times where I'm trying to read a fireball, right, but I get hit out of the fireball because of distancing. And I feel like if the move is specifically made to counteract fireballs, it should be at least in the EX version beat every fireball. Like you could do EX Psycho Crusher for Bison, but at certain ranges it's just not that good. I get point blank Psycho Crusher isn't supposed to be good, like you just gotta figure out a better option, but mid screen, you know what I'm saying, like I just feel like it should be better, you know. Like I feel like maybe light and medium Psycho Crusher could be a little bit faster too. I don't know. I personally feel like I get a lot of people who back up in fights, so it's like, how do I close the gap in a way to where it's ambiguous and also gives me good offense? Like I feel like with Bison, especially from far, it's really hard to, I guess, mix them up unless you I guess you just dash up grab, or like you what is it you just drive rush jab, or you drive grab, right? But again, you run that 50-50, and certain ranks, it's just they're like I don't want to say they're like AI, they block everything, but there is a moment where if everybody has Ultra Instinct on, it just feels like how am I gonna open this guy up? It's very challenging for Bison. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I guess you could try and do medium punch into the heavy kick, right, to try to get a mix-up cross-up. It's plus on block too, so you can try and do like some light stuff, right, with I think it's like light kick into crouching light punch. But again, that stuff I'm just not good at it. I don't know what it is, but when it comes to like making combos off of lights, it just doesn't work. I don't know if I have any videos to like show that, but I would definitely try to record it. Again, I get a lot of like like these weird catch-22 matches where it's like a scramble that's all hell get out, and then whoever makes the eggs fast enough unfortunately wins the round. So I don't know.
Bison wins.
Yeah, and you see I used the what is it called?
Round 1.
I always want to say it's like the Psycho Dash, but that's not what it's called. I used Drive Rush there, the Drive Rush Heavy Punch, which is a really good tool for him to close neutral out, right? But again, once I got to these higher ranks, I just didn't feel like I was getting anything out of it. Like, yeah, you can go into medium punch, right? After the heavy punch, as you saw me do, but you know, if they block it, you know, if they have really good defense, they block that. I don't think I get strike throw off of the medium punch, the crouch medium punch, right? I don't know how good Drive Rush Heavy Punch is into grab, and I feel like I don't want to. I feel like at a higher level, right? If you go for something even slightly bad, right? That's basically your egg, your bacon. You know what I mean? Like that's it for you. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you get into higher levels, everybody's a combo fiend, and everybody knows like super optimal stuff. Especially when you get into the FGC guys. Don't even get me started with them. I feel like if you beat an FGC person, you deserve like some level of praise, because those guys actually spend too much time playing the game. Like what in the actual heck? But FGC, you know, if anybody knows what FGC is, they're gonna be like, of course they spend all the time. You know what I'm saying? They go to tournaments, all this stuff, and it's like, well, you know, cool, but you know, let me get into the tournament, bro. I just beat an FGC, but then like, fucking, you find some guy with Chuck Norris's neck beard as their name, and all of a sudden it's good luck. Chuck Norris is apparently OP, and he beats every FGC YN from America to EU. You know what can you do?
Bison wins. Round 1. Fight.
You know, and I just realized this because I never really spent time talking to like actual fighting game like people. Do you guys like have problems with enjoying wins? Like, do some wins like not feel as satisfying or satisfying at all? Like there are some matches where like I'll win, right? And say the guy is like of high note. I don't know if I have the games where I'm like in the middle of diamond, right? And I'm also fighting master tier players, right? But after I like fight and I beat like this master tier player, and I'm like, okay, this guy is like master tier, but he's playing like in a way to where he doesn't seem as good, right? Like, do you guys feel anything after that, or are you just hollow on the inside? Like, is this guy even real? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I personally, I have a hard time enjoying wins because I just feel like it's Alright guys, so on the topic of things that you enjoy in a fighting game and things that don't satisfy you in a fighting game, what gets your endorphins up when you play fighting, like play as your favorite main, or that person that, or the person that you're just picking up because they're DSC and they just came out? Like, what gets your endorphins up when you play a character? For me personally, it's just combos. Something about doing like really hard setups, getting perfect, doing combos that do massive damage. For instance, if I like get off a 45 to like a 50%, almost 50% combo, like my endorphins are up through the roof. I'm over here like almost walking on cloud 9. Tastes so good, makes you want to smack your mama vibe. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just curious, what is that for you? For me, I think when it comes to like grapplers, you just want the hug, bro. You're just, it's like a line of Novocaine. You gotta get it, and you gotta get it now. I imagine Manon's, like Manon mains, once they get that 5 stack, that, or like 4 stack. I don't play Manon. I don't know how many stacks of the grab she needs to get that max damage for no reason. But you know what I'm saying? Once you get to that max stack and you just hug somebody and you just see their health drop. I know Zangief cheeses every time he gets that grab, and it does just so much damage for no reason. Like, but I can't get decent damage nowadays off of like a whiff punish, and I gotta struggle to make ends meet because my arms are short. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, things I hate. You know, watching this Kimberly play is reminding me, what characters do you guys not enjoy playing against at all? I feel like, who's that? Dulcim? Dulcim's that one character that for some reason, I just don't like how people play him. I fought very few aggressive Dulcims, and they're just like a golden Magikarp. They're just like so baffling to the eye. But they're like just so simple as a creature. It makes no sense, but I enjoy watching them. It's better than chasing a guy that's floating in the air, talking about stretches for 40 minutes as he's kicking me while he's floating in the air, spitting his hot like fire at me like he's about to drop an album. It's like, dude, like, you're literally the lamest version of Luffy I've ever seen. Why? Like, why do you have to also play like you eat boogers every day? You know what I'm saying? Like, teleport in every which way, like freaking then teleport in halfway to the other side of the map just to back up while you're floating in midair. It's like, dude, what are we doing here? Like, you know what I mean? What character grinds your gears, to quote Peter Griffin? Who grinds your gears in this game, or in any fighting game really? When I play Tekken, even though I play a Mishima, I hate other Mishimas. I don't know what it is. I just feel like their hell swoops are better than mine, and I just can't handle it. You know what I'm saying? I play Arena. I don't know if I said that, but.
Round 1. Fight.
I really do feel like the way I set up that block pressure earlier with the ending in the scissor kick in the first exchange, I felt like that was really good, but I feel like those sequences are super hard to come by now. I don't know, maybe it's just because I have high rank trauma. Like, again, I don't know what it is. Again, high rank people who play fighting games, please let me know. Do you unlearn good things because it doesn't work anymore? Does that make sense? Like, obviously if it's a good thing, why doesn't it work still? You know what I'm saying? But you get higher up in the ranks and things that normally catch people and that you know is like kind of like solid as a strategy doesn't work anymore. How do you like adjust the mind into like a different framework and into a different strategy even? Because that's another thing that I struggle with, is like just the loop of, okay, I know this button is safe into this button. I know I have strike throw here. Let's try strike throw 2 times. Let's try the throw out instead of the strike 2 times. Let's strike here. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you break your rhythm to create a different path of destruction? also on the topic of, I don't know, changing up the flow and, you know, strategy and fighting. I don't even go for grabs as much. I grab more now, in fact, but I just feel like it's so futile sometimes. But every time somebody wants to get me in a strike throw mixed up, I'm just getting thrown. I enjoy the character of what's that? She a fire lady. She's like a female version of Ken if he was hot and he had brown hair. What's her name? What's her name? It's like May. I don't want to mispronounce this and have everybody shitting on me because I fucking don't know how to pronounce names. It's like May or like Mai. The lady with the fans, man. Like her strike throw mix up, her just grab spam, better than most grapplers in the game. It's better than Magnet Hands GF. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it's I don't know, man. But like again, I play Bison, which I think he's an honest character that does, you know, aggressive damage if you know, mess up. But that's only if I can get the right sequence to get the big damage. You know what I mean? Like I feel like with Bison, tell me if I'm crazy. I might, you might just call me crazy anyway. Anyway, tell me I'm crazy. Wouldn't it be cool if Bison had kind of like how Manon has the metal she has to collect, right? How come Bison can't collect bomb stacks? You know, every successful bomb stack gives you closer to your ultimate form instead of having to taunt and doing that impossible 3 count, or is it like, yeah, 3 count to get EX Bison or God Bison, whatever you want to call him, and then get your good option. The only good option in that form anyway is the get off me tool, the barrier, right? That would improve Bison's defensive game, defensive options at least, if they would make that transformation possible. They could even give the character slight buffs to make the character seem a little bit better in the areas he struggles, but also like cut maybe his damage by a percentage. I don't even think Bison does a lot of damage when you see, you know, Akuma. Again, Cammy comes to mind. Again, if you're talking about robbery, Zangief will run your pockets out of 2 grabs. You're gonna be stressed and pressed after them hugs, boy. And it's you know, like, you know, good players. You know, Ryu is really, and Ken. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like these plethora of characters that have these easy openings, hard to open up. You know what I mean? Their neutral moves hit all the way from Africa to China. You know what I'm saying? It just, you know what I mean? Like, how come Bison can't do that? He's like the main villain, right? Or am I wrong? Is Akuma the main villain? I don't know the lore like that. I'm pretty sure Bison is the main villain, but he's put up like second fiddle low-key in it. I don't know how I feel about that. His lackeys do better than him in the game than he do. You know what I mean? Like, well, and I don't want to say that like I know it all, because I'm not even master rank with him, but I've played a lot of matchups. Okay, I've been through a lot of matchups, man. I want to say with a level of certainty that, yeah, like it's like a 4-5 or a 4-6 or maybe a 3-7 in what's that snake lady name? I want to call her Viper, but that's not wrong. That's not right. She's like the female Fang. I don't know her name. Off the top of my dome. But yeah, her I feel like it's a 3-7 in her favor. With JB, right? And people play this man lame as fudge, and it makes me so upset. Why are you gonna play a zoner, right? He's a really good zoner too. He puts the spikes on the ground. He puts some spikes in the air. He starts throwing them shadows at you, bro. What you doing? You know, you can't spin knuckle out of that if you're Cammy, right? You can't Cycle Crusher out of it when you're Bison. You can't even EX Cycle Crusher out of it, which I feel like they all should be EX. They should all be defeated by Cycle Crusher because they're all forms of projectiles. You know what I mean? Like, why is his lackeys doing better within him? Why is the boss lacking?
Round one.
All right. So here's a good question that I was wondering. What is your guys' favorite skins for fighting games? It doesn't have to be Street Fighter. I enjoy a lot of custom skin building. That's why I enjoy Tekken a lot, is because that you customize your character however you want. Even though most people pick characters that already exist, I tend to enjoy making things that don't exist. You know, so what are your guys' favorite skins for maybe Street Fighter 6, for other games? Let me know. But the thing that I was trying to get at is I enjoy the Cammy skin a lot. Like the original that they put in the game, and then the new one that they invented for her is very nice. I feel like I'm pretty sure the whole community was saying this at a point too, that this isn't news, but that Street Fighter 6 is missing a lot of money because of the fact that they're not bringing back those old skins. And it's kind of unfortunate too. I would have really enjoyed the Devil Bison skin to come back from Street Fighter 5. I think a lot of the 5 skins could have came back in spectacular fashion in this game. Even bringing back some cameos, you know. This is another question that I wanted to ask or put out there in the zeitgeist. Why aren't we getting like these classic throwback characters, or why aren't we getting new characters like how Chun-Li, she got the apprentice lady, you know what I'm saying? How Luke has his friend that also fights, you know what I'm saying? When are they coming out into the game? Is this gonna be, I believe we're season 2, almost season 3, or maybe we're still in 2. I'm not quite sure. But is it gonna be season 3 is when they're gonna unveil all the new characters? I always wondered about this. Why don't, when fighting games create like a continuation of the series, right? Why don't they introduce these newer characters, these newer ideas? You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, on launch they did, right? Because you know you wouldn't have Manon, you wouldn't have the female Fang, you know what I'm saying? But again, it's still a play off of another character that already existed. Manon kind of reminds me of another lady, or potentially of another lady. She used to scream into a mic and then smack it down on the ground. I can't remember her name at the moment. Who else? That gladiator lady? I don't even. Gladius! All I remember from her is that she sounds like a cat. I think that's because of Yipes. She'd be like, meow, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? You know, but what do you guys think? What do you guys think would be an interesting new character to add to the game? Do you think that the whole I want to say Cammy, but that's not accurate. Even though Cammy's sister coming back into the game would be pretty cool. I think her name, there is like a character in the game called Viper at a point. I think it was Street Fighter 4. But Cammy had a sister, and she used her arms like Cammy uses her legs. And I just think, you know, bringing back, I don't know, something different, but like could tie into the past in a way, or maybe like just starting from all these newer characters that are already made. But yeah, you guys hit me up. Let me know what you think. I just want to say, every time I fight Ryu, I'm gritting my teeth. I want to do nothing but cause this man pain and destruction. I literally channel the inner Beerus, and I just want to blow this guy's planet in Kingdom Come. I hate Ryu, I hate Ken. They're just these guys that get it all. They got the long hair. You know, he's Ken. Even though I sympathize with Ken, because he's like, I lost my kids and my wife, and I lost my fucking house. You know what I mean? Like, for him, but at the same time, do you have to kick loot me into oblivion, man? You should, you know, talk your anger out with somebody, bro. Like, just stop getting me in loops. I say this, and then in this match, I win, which is kind of crazy. I win the first round, but who wins the set? Who do you guys think? Let me know. Okay, and so one of the reasons why I just don't appreciate this matchup, even though I just, as you see me just lay this man out, is simply that when you play against Ryu and Ken, you just I feel like you can tell the limitations of your characters playing against these guys. I feel like Ryu and Ken have the most, like, kind of like forgiving things. I don't want to say they do, because again, it could just be like late reactions, poor reactions, stuff like that, but I feel like they can whiff buttons and then just do other stuff and it works. You know what I mean? Like, it's spooky. It's like they're doing magic in real time. I just don't understand how they do it. I want to do it, but my buttons are slow, and they got short arms. You know what I'm saying? My feet don't even go that far. I think my Bison's arms are longer than his feet in some exchanges. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really weird. It's really weird stuff, and obviously they're like the main two characters, right? But again, I think of Bison as like the main villain. A wild idea I had once was, why doesn't Cycle Crusher just beat DP? Because, like, if you think about it, right, the guy is mid-air, his hand's up, the other hand is like not doing anything, it's not engaging in any offensive manner, but a Cycle Crusher is just me tackling you in the gut. If you're jumping mid-air and somebody tackles you in the gut, you lose all, like, velocity going upward. You know what I mean? You're in the tackle. You're screwed. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how else to say it. I know that's like unlikely, because games are really sensitive about their DPs. If a game has a DP, it's never gonna be not optimal. You know what I mean? There are some bad DPs, but if you have a DP, you're borderline already almost like top 6. And I know that's like, wow, that's a pretty aggressive leap. But if you think about the game right now, I feel like, and again, I'm not Masters, and I don't consider myself high rank until I'm Masters or higher. So maybe you take my words with a grain of salt. And you know, I just think a lot of the higher level characters up there that do really well have really aggressive DPs. They have really good far ranging buttons. You know what I'm saying? They have access to the reversals that everyone else has options to naturally, but they don't need to rely on it because the DP is really good. I'm thinking of Rashid right now, because every time you think you got Rashid in a corner, right, he just goes skyward, right, and that stuff hits diagonal. What are you gonna do about it? You gotta either see it or hold it. You know what I'm saying? Either way, it's gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's during your pressure. And haters, right now, I know you are cheesing your face off, because it's 2-1 now. But you know, I'm still believing in myself, because you know what, that's just what we're gonna do out here. And I think I'm gonna win, even though I don't remember the outcome of this battle. If you notice my earlier exchange, there's a combo that you can do from I call that move where he jumps in the air and he sticks his hand out, his hand out like that. I call it knife hand, right? So if you connect your knife hand to your bomb, you can cycle crusher them and get like crazy combo. Again, I don't think it's that complicated. I feel like a lot of Bison players know of that combo, but it goes into level 3 and it does pretty nice work. So I do appreciate that. I realized too that I don't do medium into crouch heavy punch a lot. It's a good combo ender, I believe. I don't think it's a good combo starter. That's probably why I don't use it. But I've seen some people start with medium punch into crouching heavy punch and do pretty well. You see how that grab whiffs? This is another reason why I don't like doing grabs. For some reason, as soon as I start realizing there's a grab button, it's like the game turns it off. Like, I don't. But I have to fight Zangia with magnet hands. I gotta fight Manon, whose grab moves her forward. And I'm cool with it. They're grapplers. That's what they do, right? But when Mei or Mai pulls up looking good and chain grabbing me every 5 minutes, and it's like optimal for her, what? But when I try to throw out a grab, I'm a micro inch short and I lose? What? Oh, and now that I see that this round is going poorly because this guy's AFK, I might just skip this and catch you guys in the next one. Let's see if he comes back, because we are impatient, but we're honorable. Yeah, he didn't come back. Again, just another matchup that I see the character. My eyes are bloodshot red. I just want to physically put my fist through this guy's chest. So like every input, I'm doing it kind of with intention. You'll see, like, probably in this match, because I just saw it a little bit earlier, like, in certain instances, the muscle memory isn't there, so I don't know the proper conversion yet, but, you know, shit. See, and then that interaction right there, that's where I could have gone medium punch into standing medium punch into crouching heavy punch, and then, you know, I could have ended it with the cycle mine, but I just, again, I can't. I still don't even do it now, but it's something I should add to my game, definitely. But again, if I show you my current matches, I don't know, man. Like, again, I get this. I don't even play a lot, so I can't really hate, but at the same time, like, it's just a challenge. It's a challenge, and I'm all for it. It's just, I'm surprised that, like, obviously everyone has a secondary, right? And for me, I can't focus on a secondary, even though I know how to play 3 characters. I just don't know how to play 2 of them optimally. I feel like I can say I know how to play Bison optimally, sort of. Like, on, like, if I had to give it a scale, probably like a 7. It's not, like, that good. But at the same time, if you let me cook, I'll probably just, you know, run your pockets. But, where was I going with this? Yeah, so if you like this kind of style where I record the audio after I've played the matches, let me know. I'm kind of like nervous to play my record my voice while I play the game, because it's kind of, well, it's a fighting game, and this is the thing I'll ask. There are a lot of people out here who record playing fighting games, stuff like that, but do you guys ever, like, I don't know how to say it other than talk viciously when you play fighting games. Because in my mind, I'm fighting. I'm thinking of like I don't know how many of you people actually like try to train and do that stuff, but like I'm thinking like, oh, punch here, like kick here. I'm thinking of like, you know, like spin kick, back kick. Like this is in my mind, right? But in actuality, it's like, you know, heavy, you know, light, whatever. But you know, that's where my mind is, right? So obviously, I'm not thinking of, you know, rainbows, and I'm not singing about love and, you know, fucking Oprah. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking to demons. You know what I'm saying? Is anybody else like that, or am I weird? Is it something you had to train yourself out of? And what did you do? Did you just play calming music? Like for me, when I play fighting games and I have to lock in, like I have to play my type of music. My type of music is heavy metal. It's rap. You know what I'm saying? It's drill rap. You know what I'm saying? It's some hip hop, some R&B, but you know what I'm saying? Like I don't listen to the R&B too much when I'm playing fighting games, because I have to feel like I have to be in action. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me know, guys. Like, what do you guys do to get into the mindset of a fighting game? How do you change your mindset if you feel like you're being too aggressive? Because there, again, some of these matches, I don't know if I have them recorded, but there's some of these matches I get real mad, bro. Like if I fight a Blanca, bro, and he's just hitting me with the meatball every 5 seconds, I'm telling you, bro, I'm doing every sort of thing to where I hope he steps on nails and thumbtacks when he wakes up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I hope when he pours his bowl of cereal, for some reason, for some unknown reason, his cereal is just full of nails for no reason. Cause he sat there and laughed at me while he spammed Blanca Ball, which is safe no matter what you do. I'm pretty sure you can't perfect parry it, you can't block it. You know what I'm saying? And if he does the right one, I don't know if it's heavy or medium, he's at a safe distance from you, but he can hit you. You know what again, these characters with these long limbs, they get benefits, but I don't know how viable Blanca is, because one of the big Blanca guys doesn't even play Blanca anymore. I'm thinking of Mena RG, but you know, you guys let me know. Are there any crazy Blanca players still out there? Hit me up. I need to learn the matchup. Seeing myself try to solve this Ken problem is helping me realize more faults that I do in my own game plan, right? So this is for, I guess this is for just like everyone, but like predominantly I'm looking for like Bison players for guidance, right? When you do Cycle Crusher in neutral, right, and you recognize that they're just jumpers, bro. Like, you know, they're frogging. For real. I know that you can jump medium punch, and depending on your situation, you can get a lot out of it, right? But how do you just prepare for that situation? Do you just, I know a lot of people, they're like able to understand like the pattern, and they just, you know, oh, you're doing it again, I'm gonna just, you know. But how do you set your mind up for it? Are you like, okay, 3, 2, 1, he's jumping, here I go, trying to do my thing too, or like, you know, what's the thought process? You know, I'm just curious in general, because I kind of go like, if I'm really locked in, like no bullshit, like I'm just like quiet as fuck, just like staring at the screen, thinking about nothing but destroying my opponent. You know what I'm saying? I'm very like 3, 2, 1. He's gonna do this, you know, and we're gonna do that, and then it's this, and then it's that forever. You know what I mean? I guess like in this matchup for sure, I see like my fault here is pattern recognition. I see a lot of again, DP. I was I say DP and he does it. You know what I mean? But you know, just yeah. How do you figure out a good way to stop, you know, someone else's pattern? How do you stop somebody's flow? Stop their heart? How do you do it? In this game, obviously, in game.
Round 2. Fight.
Okay, so, and I feel like I'm asking a lot now all of a sudden, but I see a combo that I'm repeating a lot, right? And I know you guys don't see a lot of my gameplay. You're just now getting introduced to it. Maybe you've seen it a lot too, right? But how do you know when using one combo is better than the other? Do you go for damage? Like, do you go straight for positioning? Like, what do you look for to pick out your ideal combo in situation? You know, what do you, is it? I know it could just be simply for the thought process could simply just be what you're aiming for, whether it's corner pressure. I want to say Oki, but I don't think Street Fighter has Oki. But you guys get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like how do you set it up? And for my more educated Bison players, how can I set up more dangerous mix from like knockdown? Like, how can I get like these heavy knockdowns that are gonna give me like very big benefits? I just wanted to bring up again, bringing it back to that new character conversation, right? This lady, though I don't see her a lot, I'm always happy to see her. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, not to be silly here, but she's a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? Like, though I hate her playstyle, primarily because, again, long reaching buttons against a short stubby guy makes, you know, Santa a very sad man. So, you know, again, do you guys enjoy like these newer characters? Like, is this lady whose name is escaping me right now? Are you happy with like the new characters that they put in the game? Again, like, do you think they should bring more weapon users into Street Fighter? Because honestly, having like some guy that's kind of like Samurai Jack mixed with Yasuo on steroids and crack, you know what I'm saying, doing weird sword stuff in the middle of a game, you know, is that Street Fighter? You know what I mean? Would that feel like Street Fighter, or is that like something else? You know what I mean? That it's just curious, because I've never seen, I think she's like the first person with like a weapon other than like Ivy, I think is her name. She had a whip. She and she was like I don't want to say she was like dating this big dude that like threw tires, Abigail, something like that. She was like dating him, or like he was like, they were doing something, all right. But like, those two are like the only characters with weapons, right? Other than like this, I'm remembering this guy. He had like a police night cane, right? But he was like in the military, like Green Beret, but like not American. I don't know his name. I watch a lot of Street Fighter. This is the first Street Fighter game I've ever played. So like for me, it's easier to learn characters' names, and I say that, and I probably guessed correctly 3 or maybe 4 characters' names out of probably like the 7 that I brought up, maybe 8. So take that with a grain of salt again. but you know what I mean? Like, it's easier for me to learn the characters' names because I fight them, you know what I mean? But when I'm just watching like matches or I'm watching tournaments that I enjoy, you know, it's harder to remember or to recount the characters' names. All I know is what they look like and how they play, you know? How do you guys remember character names? Is it just from fighting them, or is it because of interest? That's another good question. Oh, and like, and so I'm thinking about lockdown when I'm playing like matchups like this, right? Because characters with high mobility, characters that kind of, or players rather, because some characters don't have high mobility, but characters still, or the player themselves play like they're on speed and they have to go faster than Sonic in most of his video games. So I'm wondering to you guys out there, how do you lock somebody down? How do you keep them in place? I understand, okay, this button's plus on block, so I'll spam it 50 times. I'm looking at all the Akuma players that spam his kicks like they're freaking intelligent. They're reinventing the wheel or something. But that kick is retarded and it goes an unbelievable amount of distance. And it's plus on block. And it's deceptively slow. You know what I mean? It's just, it's like, alright, man. Alright, but I like that you can duck it though, but you know, again, it's one of those buttons that if you're not prepared to punish it, he's gonna get a free like medium punch after it, and you're just gonna have to hold it. Really annoying. But yeah, lockdown. How do you do it? Again, you just spam the. Are you the Akuma player that I just described, or are you like, you know, trying multiple options to just open up your character? And again, I don't hate. You know, you play your characters how you play your characters. You obviously play them the way you do because it works, you know. If I could play lame and not feel like a scumbag afterwards and just like enjoy the W, you know what I mean, then I would do it. But again, it goes back to that what I was talking about earlier, like what makes you enjoy playing a fighting game, like what gets your endorphins up, you know what I mean? Like if I'm not doing crazy damage, my character doesn't laugh maniacally, you know what I mean? Like, because sometimes when I be getting into the matches, you know, I'll be laughing with Bison as I'm hitting the level 3 off of like some crazy combo. Yeah, ha, ha, ha. And then it's just like, you know what I mean? Like I'm vibing, like I'm enjoying myself. But I know it's probably to the same effect as that Dawson player that's just hovering around in the air, smelling his own farts at 1,000 degrees in the sky, you know what I'm saying? Chucking fireballs like, you know, this is living, this is gaming, you know, I don't know. But yeah, like lockdown. How do you guys like to go about it? For me personally, now with all the patches included and nerfs, I feel like the Bison's drive rush back heavy kick is my favorite button when I really want to extend my pressure. I also feel like he has other good buttons too off the drive rush that can be deceptive. It's probably common knowledge now. Everybody has fought Bison at some point, right? Like, so his heavy kick, if you can drive rush it and it lands, and they're not like some crazy like Sonic meth head, and because like some people will just DP your drive rush, and again another crazy unfair advantage, right? Like, but again, I guess I could scissor kick drive rush. I've done it like maybe once or twice, but you have to kind of be like, you have to have foresight, okay? You have to kind of see it, smell it in the air, and like, you know what I'm saying? And then just like do it before you even see the green pop up, and then you catch them, and then you go for your conversion, right? If that's what you so choose. But yeah, it you know.
Round 2. Fight. Round 1. Fight.
Alright, so do you guys have a character, right, that you like to play against that helps you see how sharp you are as like just like how sharp you're playing for the day? For me, I think the Cammy matchup is a good example of that, because I feel like Cammy and Bison are synonymous. They have this similar game plan, you know what I mean? Like, even the way they play, in my opinion, it just feels similar. It makes sense too if they feel a little bit similar, because I believe their stories are attached. But suffice it to say, I feel like playing against Akuma is one of those kinds of, like, am I checking the right buttons? Am I clicking the right buttons? Type stuff. I wonder if these are the videos I start getting confident in my conversions. Seeing that level 3 conversion makes me feel that way, but as soon as I start fighting more Akumas, I remember this. I started really trying to beat them because other than Cammy, I feel like Akuma was the next person that competes with Bison for power, and I feel like that in the game and in damage for combos as well. So I always try to beat them. Again, I feel like Bison's the top villain, so I want to beat all the villains. I just want to be at the top of the boss. I don't know.
Sacrifices. Round 2. Fight.
Do you guys ever run into that issue where you see the drive impact coming and you're trying to go for your proper punish on the drive impact? Like, we all know that there are certain buttons you can go into on hit on the drive impact to do another drive impact, right? For Bison, that go-to button as I eat a fireball to the face. is medium punch, right? And I try really hard to get this to get to that situation to where I can get that conversion, right? But it just never happens. But I know it's a possible thing. I know it's possible to do. Do you guys ever run into something similar? Do you ever like meet that hurdle? And when you finally get it off, do you feel levels of relief, or are you just fiending for that next opportunity to prove it, like I just did right there, you know? So yeah, let me know.
M. Bison wins. Round 1. Fight.
All right, so guys, hit me up. I got a question. So you guys can kind of tell, like, I do best two out of 3, or I do first to 2. Sometimes I'll go even so far as to play first to 5 or first to 10, right? I normally do first to 10s if like the person's higher ranked than me and they kind of allow it, because I feel like if a person is better than you, they kind of dictate if you're able or willing to learn from them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the only way I can think about it is getting a teacher out of nowhere and they're trying to teach you about something that you're interested in. It's up to them with their discerning eye to be like, yeah, you know, I can teach you something. I say that to say, like, what the roles are reversed, right? And you're playing against a rookie rank, or like, let's say you're a diamond, but they're making you fight a plat person for some reason, right? And that plat person's mildly decent, you know, but they're not gonna beat you, right? Are you gonna willingly let them play longer sets to learn, you know, the matchup, the knowledge, to really push you as a player? Or are you that type of person that just one and dones? And why do you one and done? You know, like, is it because, you know, I understand being above that person, like, say that person's rookie rank and you're like, say high diamond, high plat, and you just don't want to play against those lower ranked players and casuals. Like, I get that, but you know, what is the criteria for you guys to move to choose how many rounds you play with a certain player? Let me know.
Challenger. Ready yourself. Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight.
I just thought of something interesting. Do you guys have like weird sayings that you say when you're like you do something bad? Like, for instance, I had saw myself drop a combo, right? And I did that a few times throughout this video, right? And the thing that came into my mind was, I wonder if I wash my hands after that. You know, like, does it make you feel some sort of way to where you gotta do something afterward? You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, when I have really bad losses, right, I'll pick up my weights and I'll lift them, right? I'll do like arm curls. When I had my bench, I do bench presses with the dumbbells and stuff like that, just to like relieve that extra tension. Again, I already told you guys how I get when I'm in the game and I'm not like trying to lock in too hard, too seriously, right? Because again, this is supposed to be fun, and since I have a mild perfectionist kind of like OCD, if like I don't do well, like again, I have to like alleviate that tension, that stress. But if you guys even get what I'm saying, how do you relieve that stress? How do you get that tension? I know a lot of people just, you know, I play to have fun. Like again, I know this player is just having a grand old time doing all the flips, all the kicks. It works. You know what I'm saying? Good buttons, fairly good judgment making, but you know, let me know.
Round 2. Fight.
I'm just so locked in watching this matchup because you know, you realize a good player once you like look at the footage, right? And this Akuma has really good reactions. I feel like at a certain range, it's really hard to get a good, meaningful punish, and I say that as I'm 2-0ing him currently. But again, you see a good match, you tend to enjoy it. I just wonder if I hit him with something inspirational. This is like another weird question. I'm just a man full of questions right now. You're gonna have to bear with me. People who decide to actually comment on the things I'm asking and not give me a new one. Do you guys have that, like, you play against a certain character that, or a certain person, a certain player, and they play like really well, and so you want to either match their freak, as I've heard some people call it, and raise the bar? Like, obviously it's a competitive game. Most competitive people want to like do that, but do you like eagerly seek it out? You know what I'm saying? Again, I guess this goes back to the conversation I had brought up earlier about rounds. How do you choose rounds? Like, I want to say this Akuma, I would play him for 5 rounds. Not because like I enjoy, I don't even know if I like how many wins I get off this guy, but say I for some reason I like 3-0, you know? It's not because I can win so many times. It's just this match, just looking back at it, for me it's enjoyable because again, Akuma's just one of those characters that I feel like you have to, you're just playing your top, because he just gets so much off of doing just a little bit, and again, that's his character, you know what I mean? I mean, it's not a little bit, but a lot of his stuff is good, you know? That's what I'm trying to get at. A lot of his stuff is good, and it can go into very big damage very fast if you know what you're doing, right? And yeah.
Kuma win.
Yeah, see, I know for sure I fought this guy until 3. Because there's no way I'm going to leave off 2 rounds. It just, I don't know, like, again, I think it goes back to the endorphins thing, like, I just can't leave until I get a good satisfactory win. Again, I'm really hoping that in some of these recordings I might add another set of recordings to make it an even 3. But it's not even because it's 3, but you know what I mean. But yeah, like this guy's just really good. I'm enjoying the match. It's actually showing me a lot of things that I don't do well anymore. For instance, that medium punch into crouching medium kick. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just at high level, it just doesn't do well. I don't know why. Well, I mean, once you get into higher level, obviously the higher level players, you're gonna probably agree with me on this, but everybody's crouch blocking. You know what I mean? And depending on how fast or how deceptive your overhead is, it can be very challenging to get this person to not hold down and back. You know what I mean? And like, if you're not good at covering up the grab, which I wasn't good at until I got to probably like Diamond 4, because I didn't grab. I obviously, off of most of the stuff I've been saying, I focus primarily on combos. Why? Because it makes me feel good. But yeah, you know, if you're not good at hiding your grab, I feel like your whole approach gets muddy because you get these annoying resets over and over because they either block they counter the grab, which is what I kind of hope for, because it's back to 1, it's back to 0, neutral. If they jump it, depending on who they are, you're just kind of screwed. I wonder if he makes a comeback on me. Hold on. See, I'm watching the replay like I'm about to lock in, but I can't lock in. I hope I do. Like, honestly, I don't want to get 3-0'd. I want to say believers, are you there? But you know, I'm fresh out, so I know everybody out here hoping, praying on my downfall. Praying. They said, no, this guy deserves to be in jail.
You are round 2. Fight. Bison wins. Challenger. Interest. Round 1. Fight.
Alright guys, this is the matchup where after the end of it you want to check your pockets, see how much you took. Let's see if I can keep my head level in this matchup. I talk about frustrating matchups, but nothing is more frustrating than that. And then he gets buffed. He gets worse? What? All I know is that Magnet Hands and SPD, and that's 75% as I get grabbed. Oh my god. Do you think for fun, Zangief should have a Hug Wolf skin on some Adventure Time joke? Or is that like not funny? I feel like it's kind of funny because that's like his entire game plan. I'ma hug you up, bro. And then he's like in game. He's in game, and he's just like this gigantic Russian dude dressed up as a fat wolf with hearts for hands. I don't know. I feel like that'd be humorous, even though if he's doing what he's doing right now, it'd probably be toxic. Again, after this, I'm probably gonna have to check my pockets because he probably took a latte. No coffee.
Zangief wins. Round 1.
Yeah, excuse me while I go vomit on my hands. That hurt.
Round 2. Fight.
I really do enjoy that stomp into the purple fire hands conversion. It looks so cool in my head, but it does no damage. Like you have to I had to learn that that's actually a good setup when they have the Psycho Bomb already on them into getting bigger damage, but I feel like just off of, I don't know, swag points, I feel like it should just do more, but hey man. I said I did not want any more of this Zangief, man. It was bad.
Here comes a new challenger. In round 1. Fight. This is it. Prepare. Hadouken! 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 Shoryuken! Shoryuken! Hadouken! Shura!
I'm gonna show. Hopefully, I show this Ken that his fire isn't the only scary stuff that burns. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying, like, again, Ken, Ryu. I'm trying to make their lives a living nightmare. You know, that's why Bison was made. Therefore, that's what I aim to do every single time, every single time. But I don't know. You know, like I feel like, again, I've said it before. I'll say it till the end of time. I think Ken and Ryu are probably the hardest matchups that I have in this game. They're just, I feel like their neutral is just really good. You know, they have really good tools. This was a question that I was curious on too, because I remember them saying, or like people saying, that Ken is like the main guy in this variation of Street Fighter, right? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you so choose. But yeah, I feel like he's like the main dude, and he lost his family, right? So does it make sense for him, for his evil variation to be in this game? And you see how that Cycle Crusher didn't punish him when he jumped in the air? Weird stuff like that. It makes me not want to use Cycle Crusher as an option for something that it's supposed to be used for. Like, you can use Cycle Crusher to counter people jumping in the air, and it never works for me. It's just like obviously in that instance it was probably like a timing issue, but again, like, fractions of a second matter in this game. If I have to hold it longer and get hit or trade, and the trade isn't in my favor, because if you trade in that situation, it isn't in your favor, which even if you EX it, which is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not rewarding enough to do it again, if that makes sense. I just wish some of Bison's move. Okay, I'm just trying to finish my sentence here. All I'm saying is that every character has their good button, or their good, I want to say skill, but that's not like the accurate name for it. Like, I want to say secret art, but that's not the right word for it either. Like how I'm using scissor kick to get pushback and stuff like that. People, like, there are certain characters that have really good buttons that they can press on block that give them more block pressure. For instance, Ken has the little Hadoken, but it's like a shotgun. Or not Ken, but Ryu has a little Hadoken that's a shotgun. It EX it, you can charge it up and get like better pressure off of it. Ken has the kicks that he just did right there, but he can do a fire variation, and it can get way more deadly the more you optimize the character. You know, Zangief has super armor. He also does that spinning thing, you know, where he turns into Helicopter Man and he just spins around. I'm not talking about his level 1, but I'm talking about like his anti-air option. Right, even though you could just use it in neutral in certain instances and it does really well. Marisa has that punch thing that's really like kind of just like hard to get through because it's really fast, and they can delay the charge, which will mess up like your reaction time, stuff like that. You know, if I'm thinking about the female Fang, I don't even know what she does, you know, but when she starts going, it's like, okay, now I gotta stop this snake lady from poking me 7 different ways. You know what I'm saying? It's just these interesting notes. I wish Bison had some of these. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I feel like it's harder to get to these like more oppressive situations. It's kind of more like I'm trying to get them to press a wrong button so I can, like I'm doing right now, blow them to Kingdom Come. You know. But yeah, again, maybe that's just his game plan. Maybe his game plan is just to make you whiff, right? And then punish, right? But I think that's like everyone's game plan, right? To make you whiff, and then they punish you and do big damage, right? But they just, I don't know, they just, in my mind, they just do it better. But I don't know, maybe you guys have different opinions. Let me know if you guys think that the moves I've even brought up are valid arguments. You know, let's get nitty gritty if you really want. I don't really care.
Round 2. Fight. Bison wins.
But yeah, I'm gonna cut it off here. You know, I'm probably gonna just do another quick little drop of another video, and yeah, I'll catch you guys on the flip. You know, thanks for watching.